Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM, we want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SiriusXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artist you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
Howard Stern, Today Show Radio, news from CNN, Fox News, Bloomberg, NPR, or sports talk on NFL, MLB, NASCAR radio, and more. Visit www.SiriusXM.com/go to sign up online quickly or call 844-711-8800 now. Activate your radio and begin exploring more than 140 channels.
Ashley Flowers, host of the #1 true crime podcast in the world, Crime Junkie. I'm so excited to bring you the ultimate destination for true crime right here on SiriusXM, Crime Junkie Radio. You'll hear episodes from our award-winning podcast, plus a brand new show exclusive to SiriusXM, Crime Junkie AF. Hear it now on the SiriusXM app.
Tell your family and friends. SiriusXM radios are on free now through June 3rd. Visit SiriusXM.com/listen to see what's on.
Imagine a long road trip where the designated DJ isn't forced to flip from station to station, avoiding commercials and trying desperately to find a signal, where you're not forced to resort to endless rounds of the license plate game to kill time. Stop imagining and start listening to commercial-free music from nearly every genre, coast to coast. Subscribe to SiriusXM, and your music stays with you wherever you hit the interstate or take the back roads. Call 844-711-8800 to activate your radio now.
Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM, we want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SiriusXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artist you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
There you go now.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. You gotta get
If you've been thinking about buying a home, you need to be in the zone, the home buying zone. You need a game plan to win in this great real estate market. The Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage has all your bases covered. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, purchasing your dream home, refinancing, consolidating debt, or even considering a reverse mortgage, contact the Big C team at Equity Zone Mortgage today. They have the lowest closing costs and they'll close your loan on time, guaranteed, or they'll pay your first mortgage payment. And they even have a 3.5% purchase down payment grant that can get you into a home with little money out of your pocket. It doesn't get more clutch than that, folks. Score big on the biggest purchase of your life. Call Equity Zone Mortgage today at 1-800-772-8624. That's 1-800-772-8624. Or apply online at equityzonemortgage.com and tell them Big C sent you as heard on the Big C Sports Podcast. License number 018148868.
Grando Deportes, Bonjour, Vidi Vidi Vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to me and people who love the universe. And that would include you. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Want to be my neighbor? Shut up! Oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, you know, I was voted the neighborhood watch person, and my job is to bring the neighborhood together. But some people don't like it when it's 3 o'clock in the morning. But that's their problem. is not mine. That's my story. That's to get with it. I want to say you can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 29 podcast applications all over the universe. And streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon and Fire TV. And that's growing. I have some things that I learned about on Perplexity.ai. They're actually showing me some ideas for a package that I'm putting together for Big C Sports Podcast. In fact, I'm going to finish my book. Yeah, I'm going to finish my book. And you have the audio version that even talks faster than I do, if that makes sense to you. Faster? Yep, faster. Some people say I talk too slow. On Big C Sports Podcast, I always produce the show. I direct the topics. I broadcast all the shows. I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter in our lives, especially nowadays. I want to say the commercials are done. The stats are provided. I even do the storytelling. And then I do the play-by-play. Carl Anthony Towns, 4-3. Yes, get the hole in your life. I'm telling you, Minnesota, they did their job last night on those good boys from Texas. I got a guy from Texas joining me today. But hopefully he's in a good mood because they say the stars are brighter in Texas. The show's uploaded to 29 podcast platforms and then streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon and Fire TV. And then number 10, I never missed a show with Big C Sports Podcast since starting back in the day at Salem Media. And I say you can give that some praise. I say give it praise, praise, praise. And it's always good to not miss a show. I want to also say what I love doing. We just got off Memorial Day weekend, and I want to pay homage to our veterans. We have a Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. If you know anybody going through issues, pick up the phone, call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And when you do, you want to give us some praise because we all need somebody to lean on. And it's nice when somebody's leaning back. And that's my story. And I'm sticking with it. You know, I've been working on an infomercial. And some people say, infomercial's more like a movie, Big C. Well, maybe I will make a movie. That's not bad at all. Thanks for giving me that thought. I want to say we have a guide to protect, preserve, and transfer wealth, Resource Development Consulting, Inc., in conjunction with the law office of Scott Thibodeau and the law office of George Jones. The Missing Link, Long-Term Care Solutions by the book, over 3 decades of experience helping seniors get their benefits. We got to help our seniors get their benefits. Medicare and You, taking care of tomorrow. Healthcare in California is called Medi-Cal. Your family and spouse can avoid the spend down for nursing home costs. You can find out your options by calling 800-772-8624, 800-772-8624. Our promise to you, specialized to navigate and maximize long-term care benefits, protection of your assets without a spend down. Now, all paperwork and communication with all government agencies are handled by a staff of entitlement specialists, ongoing consulting to provide updates as necessary, benefits covering skilled nursing facilities, medical prescriptions, and medical equipment costs. Have you ever known anyone dealing with skilled nursing facilities? Have you ever known anyone dealing with medical prescriptions? Have you ever known anyone dealing with medical equipment costs and more? Not only that, protection of your assets. Is that Aflac? No, Aflac's the duck. That's gap insurance. Asset protection can protect your assets. A duck can barely protect his own assets, if that makes sense to you. That's why a lot of them end up on the dinner table. You don't find the RDC on the dinner table, if that makes sense to you. Protection of your assets, including your home, thereby allowing you to leave a legacy for your family, avoiding the nightmare of debt brought by the government's estate recovery program called probate. Can be between 10 to 40%, and that's not a good thing when you have your assets unprotected. A one-time processing fee versus monthly insurance premiums for the rest of your life. Not only that, give that some praise. I said give it praise, 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 but I'm not done yet. Asset protection in conjunction with the law office of Scott Thibodeau and George Jones protection, insurance coverage required by law, general liability, workers' compensation, lawyers specializing in living trust, Medicaid or Medi-Cal planning for long-term care, avoid probate, life insurance, veterans benefits, aid and attendance in every county, and then pre-planning and avoid the look-back period. In California, there's no more look-back period. Fixed assets, your bank account, checking account, your savings account, your money market account, certificates of deposit, life insurance with cash values, fixed index annuities, variable assets, you got to know about your variable assets. Real estate, qualified money, IRAs, 401ks, other investments. Avoid capital gains by the step-up basis. Let's say you buy a house for $100,000. And next year, it appreciates to $1 million, according to some real estate brokers. That's a $900,000 capital gains appreciation. Will you avoid that when your property's in a trust? Over 3 decades of experience, attention business owners, you find out your other options to protect what your insurance does not cover. 800-772-8624. 800-772-8624. And when you do, you want to give us some praise. Because we deserve the praise and we all need somebody to lean on. But not only that, if somebody says buy my product, you want to ask, well, who already endorses your product, Big C? Well, I'm glad you asked. Not just me, but always get a second opinion. I'm one of the only sports shows in the universe that will ask you to get a second opinion. We have the endorsements of Mr. George Jones. He's the chair of the California Black Chamber of Commerce, also the California Black Chamber of Commerce Foundation. We have Mr. Leon Woods. He works with RDC, and he's worked with many of the top lobbyists in California. And then, not only that, we have Miss Cheryl Brown. She's the chair of the California Commission on Aging. Not only that, we have Mr. Ray De La Cruz, the CEO of Resource Development Consulting, has the endorsement of the late CalPERS top legal mind, the late Robert Carlson. He endorses the RDC team. We have Mr. Alex De La Cruz. He's the founder of American Veteran Benefits. Not only that, we have Charlton Curry payout. I'm telling you, we have the Charlton Curry, the National Black Wall Street Project co-chair in Northern California. We have a double O on the payout committee for the National Black Wall Street Project. Also, a consultant with RDC. And then she has her own economics awareness talk show called Let's Eat. You can hear that on Access, Sacramento. That's my story I'm taking with it. You got to give it all praise. Give it all praise, praise, praise. Well, before I talk about reparations, as I do on every show, I'm going to bring in a guest to talk about a patch that I've been wearing that patch since I was out jogging, trying to act like I was 25 years old, and I pulled a muscle in my knee, but that patch has been helping me. I'm going to take what's called the Big C pause, also the Big C timeout. When I come back, I'm going to bring on the great Aaron Gonzalez out of Texas. You don't want to miss it. All right, we are back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 29 podcast applications all over the universe and streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. I have the pleasure of bringing in a good friend of mine. He's from the state of Texas, coming in from what they call the Big D, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I've known Aaron for a long time. Now, I don't want to start off on a bad vibe with you, Aaron, but how about those Mavericks?
Man, we get ready to do it to it. They should have closed it out. They should have closed it out last night.
It's all fair level war, Aaron. It's all fair level war. I know they have a slogan. How about those Cowboys? Well, actually,
Well, we ain't saying that too much just yet. We want to wait and see.
Hey.
But let me clear this up though, Big C. Let me clear this up, man.
Yes.
I am not from Texas. I'm from the DPH, Del Paso Heights, Sacramento, California.
Okay, well, I hope your car tires are not on the flat in the morning, if that makes sense to you. Don't mess with the man's car tires. He's from the DPH, but he's down in Texas right now. I guess they say the barbecue is better. But Aaron, I've known you about 2 decades now, and
yes,
you're just a stand-up individual. I know that you know sports as well as anybody. But right now, the state of Texas is on a nice run. The Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Texas Rangers, they were the World Series, defending World Series champions right now in Major League Baseball.
That's right.
The Dallas Stars doing their thing in hockey. You know, they always on the ice.
Their thing.
Imagine ice in Texas. And then right now you have the Dallas Mavericks. And we always talked about, how about those Cowboys? Whether they win or lose, I think the Cowboys are a household name anywhere in the world. Your thoughts, Aaron?
You know what? I just feel good about what's going on in Dallas.
Yes.
I mean, and everything takes time. It took some years for them to get the right formula together.
Yes.
And now the Mavericks are showing it. They're all coming together. They're playing really great.
Yep.
I think they might come up against the wall against them Boston Celtics though, because them Celtics, man,
yeah,
they're playing some ball.
Well, hold on.
They're playing some ball.
Hold on. You don't want to make the big cat mad. we already putting Dallas in the finals, and I think they'll get there too. Maybe in 6 games. I don't know if they'll get it done in 5, but I don't think they can get knocked out losing 4 in a row to Minnesota. That's just my opinion. But I do want to edify you because Mr. Gonzalez, you know a great product when you see one. You saw Legal Shield 24 years ago, working with guys like Darnell Self, etc., and then helping thousands of people with that product. And then last time I talked to you, Mr. Gonzalez, it was about Zoombang, which is the number one selling under protective gear for athletes in the NFL, college, and also introduced at the high school level. But now you're on to something new, kind of like a new barbecue sauce down in Texas. I love saying Texas that way, in Texas. But now only the universe can work this out, because you've been talking to me about this new patch that you're working on. It's called the Super Patch. And it's the Super Patch company. I guess a few months ago, I was out jogging, and I saw a guy running past me, and I'm not embarrassed about that, but the fact that he was about 80 years old. And so I tried to keep up with him, and I pulled a little muscle in my knee. And so a friend of mine, she told me about this Super Patch, and she gave me one called Victory. And there were several others that she gave me. They were called, I think it was Victory was one of them, Liberty, Defend, and there were several others. But you're also now a representative. Aaron, tell me about that patch.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it is an amazing piece of technology. It's where medical science and technology have come together.
Yeah.
You see, I ran into these 3 women from Canada because it started in Canada, in Quebec, Canada, where they speak French.
Yes.
So I ran into them at the hotel, and they were speaking French. And you know me, I walked over and said, "Hi, can y'all, talk? What are y'all talking about?" So,
and they were talking about you,
right? So they began to tell me about this patch. So I said, "Demo it, show me."
Yeah.
Because show me this what you're talking about, because it's kind of hard to believe that they can put a patch on you and you can be 25% stronger.
Yes.
You can be, your core balance is going to be 31% better, so it's harder for people to knock you over.
Yes.
It's easier for you to maintain your balance, and we'll get into how that can positively affect your game in whatever sports you're playing in a second. So I let her, do these agility tests on me, very simple tests.
Yep.
And I thought I was in really good shape. Man, she knocked me over like I was nothing.
Right.
But brother, I tell you, she put that patch on my arm, and I was like a brick. She couldn't move me.
Yes.
And I was putting very little effort into preventing her from moving me.
Yes.
It just blew my mind that instantly, as soon as that patch touched my skin, my body self-corrected itself.
Yes.
So now let me tell you how they explained this to me.
Okay.
And you know me, I got to do it meat and potatoes, because I don't know all that high level technology language they're saying.
Right.
But basically, our skin is the largest organ on our body.
Yes.
And these doctors won a Pulitzer Prize studying how does the skin communicate things through the system into the brain to where we know instantly hot, cold, wet, soft, hard. We know instantly.
Yes.
So they took that medical research with this science of cap therapy and patterns. They put a pattern on a patch, and as soon as that pattern touches your skin, it sends a code to your brain through that system. The brain decodes that message, and it alters the defects that your body has had.
Yeah.
And those defects, brother, can come from anything. It can come from allergies. It can come from your mood. It can come from when you were running and you hurt your leg.
Yes.
Picking up a box, or just getting older and losing your balance.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So that's how it is. It's totally drug-free.
Okay.
It's clinically tested and proven. The FDA approves it. It's made in America. They use what they call a vibrotactile technology.
Okay.
And that's the pattern that's in each patch. You mentioned the different patches.
Yeah.
The Victory patch and the Freedom patch and the Rim patch. These are different patches that pattern communicates with your system to the brain that decodes that pattern and then adjusts what's going on in your body.
Well, you know, ironically, talking to the great Aaron Gonzalez, representative with Super Patch Company, the Super Patch Company, and I have in my hand right now, it's the orange and kind of white bag. It's the Victory color. They're about the size of a saltine cracker. It says Victory Athletic Performance like never before. It has a pack of 4 patches. On the back of the patch, it says, again, I'm just reading the patch. It's not my own opinion. It's already been out there proven. Athletic performance like never before. Strength, power, balance, agility, and recovery are the pillars for the highest levels of athletic performance. And then get it all with the Victory Patch. And it says Victory Patch is a non-invasive and drug-free technology, as you just mentioned, that may improve general wellness by enhancing the user's flow of energy, sense of balance, stamina, and strength, making it easier for the body to maintain overall health and performance at the highest level. Would you believe I'm wearing one right now on the back of my neck because I know it's helped my knee. I'm thinking if it can help my knee, Mr. Gonzalez, it can probably help my neck. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. If you put the blue one, that's called Liberty. If you have a Liberty, if not, I will send you some. If you put the Liberty patch on and the Freedom patch.
Yes.
The Freedom patch is the pain one. It resolves the pains that's going on in your body. But those two together will give you more strength, more balance, center of gravity, also help your blood flow positively. And then the pain patch communicates with the brain. And I'm telling you, it will remove those dead cells in there. It'll regenerate them so that the pain goes away.
Yes.
And how you can tie this into athletes, because, you know, I've been around sports forever. My nephew, you know, high school, college, first round draft pick, 13 years in the league. That really opened up. That opened up a lot of doors for me to be around superstar athletes in the industry with that Zoom Bang protective gear.
Yes.
Right? I mean, all 32 teams wear this stuff because it works. Now I have the opportunity to go back to those same people and show them how we can increase their peak performance.
Yes.
How we can improve their agility to absorb force. How we can help them with running that sideline and keeping that balance, sprint, pivot, jumping. Reaction time is increased because remember, what we're doing is we're correcting any imbalance.
Yes.
We're sending a message to the brain. And you know how professional athletes or any athlete at any level, they're taught early on, if you can think it, you can be it.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
You know, when we taught that in business, you know, you have to see it to achieve it.
Yeah.
You got to visualize it. They've done studies, hundreds of studies that shows somebody thinking about running a marathon.
Yes.
And then they break the barriers, right? You've seen it. You've seen the literature.
Yep.
This is just another product. Could you imagine putting this no drugs patch on your body and then having that kind of frame of mind?
Yes. In fact, Mr. Gonzalez, talking to Aaron Gonzalez, representative of the Super Patch Company, and I love the Victory patch. It's the one with the lightning bolt on it, and it says athletic performance like never before. And I can swear by it because when I pulled that ligament in the back of my knee, it was hard to even walk at times. But I started wearing that patch religiously, along with doing my own massage therapy and taking heat baths, etc., with Epsom salt. So I'm not just saying it's one thing, but I know I have that patch with me all the time. And it looks like a fingerprint when you pull the patch, again, about the size of a saltine cracker, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. But it has like a fingerprint, like it does something to attach with the nervous system. And I'm swearing by it because I wasn't wearing it just for the sake of wearing it. And then I believe you also told me that at the NFL Combine, there are players who wear the patch. And then going back to another product that you represented, with Zoom Bang, I believe Baltimore Ravens NFL quarterback Lamar Jackson, that I call Superman, a lot of those athletes, they're wearing the Zoom Bang product, and now this Super Patch, you can actually get some relief without always taking some type of an injection. I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying what's worked for me without taking an injection or some type of pill that might not be healthy for your kidneys. Your thoughts?
Well, here's the new things on that. You're going down the right road. When you have medical doctors, surgical doctors that are getting behind the camera and talking about how they're using this super patch, AG.com, by the way, they're using this super patch to help with the recovery time and the pain management.
Yes.
That right there, I mean, these doctors are putting their careers on the line by stating this and making it available right there on YouTube.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that, and if you didn't know something was working. And I'm part of a big group of super patchers. We have a WhatsApp chat group, and there was a young lady whose father, and this is all of us have mamas and daddies.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Her father is in an elderly care facility. He's in pain all the time. She snuck in and put a patch on him. Yeah. Not saying to do that, right? I'm not saying to do that. But she did
you are in Texas. You can do what you want to do, okay?
but when those nurses gave him his bath and they were checking him out, they noticed the patches.
Yes.
So they called her and asked what they were. She told them. She sent them information. Make a long story short, they called her the next day and said when they went through their routine with her father and asked him, what is your pain level? He said 0.
Yes.
They called the next day. This is 3 days now wearing the same patch. The patch is supposed to be good for 24 hours and you replace it.
Yes.
When you buy a pack, you get 24 in a pack. That's one for every day.
Yeah.
He had 0 pain. And I'll speak from personally. Right now, I got my 2 patches on.
Yeah.
I'm 57 years young, very active. I'm a property owner, so I got to take care of my yard, do my house, do my work around the garage, clean up.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, there's been nights just like you. After I do all that, I got to take the Epsom bath and rub myself. Your wife rub me down. And then the next morning, it takes a half hour to get moving. I'm telling you, Big C, I put the patches on and jump right up out of no issues, no pain. Now, I'm going to tell you a little funny story.
Yes, sir.
I ran out. I've been with these patches. I've had them for 2 months.
Okay.
But I give them away to people that are in pain. I say, just try this. Just try this.
Yes.
So I ran out. And I had to cut my grass because it's raining in Texas and I was getting the jungle.
Yeah.
I tell you, I said, it's got residuals. I'll be all right. That third day, that pain came right back.
You thought you got struck by lightning or something to bring that, right?
Man. I snuck into my wife's supply and took hers out, put it on, and the pain went away.
That's funny. Talking to the great Aaron Gonzalez, representative of the Super Patch Company. And it's just ironic that I've had this patch. I got bags full of them, and I do just put them on my knee where we're sore. It doesn't hurt anymore now. And now I got one on the back of my neck just to see if it makes my neck. I mean, I've been lifting weights more, so you get a little pain. And the pain is good to know you're working out right, but I put that on the back of my neck just for the sake of doing it. It looks like a big Band-Aid. But I do want to ask your thoughts, and it may or may not be, I think it is the technology has changed. When I was a younger person, when I played ball, if someone got hurt, they gave them what they call, it's opioids and painkillers. And that stuff can be addictive. In fact, absolutely, some people take so much they have to go get some medical help to get weaned off of that stuff. And now people are prescribing, I'm not a doctor, but there's some medical pills that you can take that are not good for your kidneys. They say don't take more than 3 or 4 in a day. But this is not that way. Now, when you watch the games, like Dallas last night was playing Minnesota, there are a lot of athletes. They have, it looks like suction cups are the remedy of the after effect of a suction cup that was on their body. Whatever they're doing to zero in on the pain spot, I'm not saying they're the same, but this patch is a lot like that based on my own experience. I'm not a doctor, but I can say what happened to me. By putting that patch on certain parts of my body, like my knee, I can tell you it feels better. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but I know it's a reason. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are this, that it will help because the brain and our neural system is all through our bodies. There's 11 miles of veins in our body.
Yeah.
And along those mileage of veins are those neurons that communicate information to our brain.
Yes.
If any of that is damaged because you were running and you sprang it, that damages that communication system.
Yes.
This patch with that pattern on it touches the skin, and it sends a message for the brain to repair that.
Yes.
I'll give you a layman's term on that. I pulled a muscle in my neck.
Okay.
And you know that's very painful. You cannot have any movement. You can't turn your head.
Yeah.
I put that patch on my neck, and in 3 minutes, I had full motion, and the pain threshold was down to 3.
Wow. Now, Aaron, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but when you were cutting your lawn, were you using your neck to push the lawnmower? Is that...
No.
I know you guys in Texas are tough, but come on, man.
No, I was reaching up to get a box, and I turned the wrong way. I thought I was 25 again, and I could just reach up and grab it above my head.
You might want to get some of these patches to those good old boys, the Cowboys. I hear Michael Parsons, great linebacker for the Cowboys, was talking a little bit of trash to Anthony Edwards last night, and maybe that spurred them on to play with more motivation to get that win over Dallas. I still got Dallas winning in 6 games. That's my opinion. But, you know, when you talk about professional athletes, and just to go back to DJ Williams, he played at De La Salle out here in the Bay Area. He was part of that 151-game national record win streak. Then he went to the University of Miami and won a championship down there, and then on to the NFL. I know he played with the Broncos. But there are a lot of athletes in the last few minutes, Mr. Gonzalez, that are using technology like these patches as opposed to saying going under the knife or having someone put an injection in their body. I've known many athletes over the years. They say you got to play with pain. Well, that's not necessarily so, because you can mask that pain and have damages to your body. Now they're using more technology that helps people recover faster with less after effects. Your thoughts?
You know, some of that comes too with also to use something, an alternative medicine is something simple that we all can get, and that's sleep. If you can get some good quality sleep, your body will heal itself.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you can be a believer or not.
Yeah.
Everybody believes in something.
Yes.
But we were created to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
These bodies of ours.
Yes.
We actually have at superpatchag.com, we have a patch to give you better quality sleep. Fall asleep 25% better. Sleep all the way through the night. My wife has a problem. She wakes up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock every morning. Every morning.
That's not because of you snoring. That's because of some type of pain. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she has. Yeah, not my snores. She might sometimes.
Can you put it on the nose, Mr. Gonzalez?
Sometimes she wake up because of that corporal tunnels in her wrist.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
But she sleeps through the night. So there's combinations that you can do that these athletes or anybody, but I know athletes are going to be doing it because just like as they wear the Zoom bang, they play another year. If you play another year, you get another contract.
Oh, yeah.
You get more contract, you get more money. So you got to stay healthy.
Yes.
You don't want to take the injections. You don't want to do the surgery. You don't want to do the drugs. So they're looking for alternative opportunities to stay healthy. And this patch can give you better sleep.
Yeah.
It can help you with your recovery time. It can help you with your blood flow. It can help you with your reaction time. All those are things that a pill is not going to help you do.
Exactly.
A shot is not going to help you do it.
Exactly, and it's less harmful according to the information on the labeling. Less harmful than getting an injection or taking some type of pill.
Absolutely,
that could be damaging to your kidneys. In the last few minutes, I want to ask you, Mr. Gonzalez, we're like the 2-minute warning now. More and more, because you've worked with a lot of professional athletes, high school level, college level. Of course, Texas is all about sports, and a lot of people love the sports teams. In fact, I want to commend the state of Texas with the Dallas Stars right now, as we mentioned earlier. The Dallas Cowboys, whether they get to the playoffs or Super Bowl or not, they're always a household name. Now you got the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm just talking about the Metroplex area. And then the Rangers won the World Series last year. You have the Dallas Stars that are doing their thing in the NHL. And then when I talk to you, because you have your hand on the pulse of so many things down in the state of Texas, I just want to say, I know you mentioned it, but superpatchag.com. Now, is that superpatchattorneygeneral.com or superpatchaarongonzalez.com? You can clear that up, please.
It's definitely Super Patch Aaron Gonzalez. That's direct access to me. But I've been called the Attorney General.
Okay.
People call me the AG because I'm kind of an expert. I'm kind of someone they look to for stuff. So I've been called the AG.
Well, we could get we could get some AGs this patch too, if that makes sense to you. Go right ahead, please.
Big C, I got to tell you too. You don't leave out Houston.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look at that Houston.
You can't claim the whole state. I was talking about Dallas. Hey, I don't want you to have no flat tires when you go outside, okay? I'm just trying to look out for you. They're very territorial. Texas men are very territorial with their meat and with their teams.
Oh,
so don't claim San Antonio and Houston when they know you live in Texas. In the last minute, though, Mr. Gonzalez, I so appreciate you just educating the audience on Big C Sports, on the Super Patch Company, and that you are a representative. If anyone's trying to reach you, obviously superpatchag.com, but you can also help people get work. There are a lot of people looking for work nowadays. How can they reach out to you if they want to inquire about being a part of your team, please?
Well, in the last second, I'll tell you this way. That superpatchag.com is my digital business card, but it also has some links to direct information. Yeah. I encourage people to study up, research, look at it.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then doing the business is easy. And of course, I will help anybody just looking to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
This company is breaking into America. They already have 1 million people on the product, but they don't have any penetration, very, very little penetration, let's say, in America. So I just was blessed to be at the right place at the right time. And I have a vision for these. That's why they call me the AG.
Yes.
So if you're interested, we're expanding. I will jump on the plane because the AG has access and come to you. Just reach out to me and let's talk about it. You can go to superpatchag.com. My phone number is there, direct line, email, everything is there. And yes, I would love to expand this because we want to create a better quality of life for people.
Yes, and because you are known as the AG of Texas, when you say breaking in, he doesn't mean in a bad way. He means breaking in. In a good way. The border.
Good way, bad way, whatever's necessary. We want to break on in.
It's all friend level war. This is Big C Sports talking to my good friend, the great Aaron Gonzalez. He is a representative for the superpatchcompany.com. I really do appreciate you. And in the last 30 seconds, is Dallas, how about those Mavericks? Is Dallas going to go up to Minnesota and come back? Are they going to fly over to Boston? Or are they coming back for a possible Game 6, Mr. Gonzalez? Your thoughts?
I believe they're gonna clean it up. I believe they're getting ready for Boston. They don't want Boston to have too much of a rest.
Yes.
So they got a lot of veterans. They got they got the veterans that can go get these young guys.
Yes.
And they're going to let them know we need to clean this thing up.
Well, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are must-see basketball. I look for a great game no matter who wins, but just make sure
absolutely.
To make sure you have no flat tires in the morning. Mr. Gonzalez has Texas winning in Game 5. That's his thoughts on that thinking with it. I want to say thank
you.
Game 5. Game 5. Guarantee your flat tires will not happen tomorrow. That's for sure.
That's right.
This was a great Big C Sports podcast talking to Aaron Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, I wish you the very best. I hope you have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you down the road.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to be on your show, Big C. I'm looking forward to hearing more and more from you in the future.
How about those Mavericks? That's a great.
How about the Mavericks?
I'll see you down the road. Thank you for being on the Big C Sports Podcast. We'll take what's called the Big C Pause, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back from the Big C Pause, also known as the Big C Timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 29 podcast platforms all over the universe. It's streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. You know, we just had the great Aaron Gonzalez, good friend of mine. He's a representative for the Super Patch Company. It is called Victory. That's the one that I'm wearing. Athletic performance like never before. If only I could put it on my brain so I can have better thoughts like ever before, if that makes sense. Maybe I will. I do shave my head. I'm going to start putting this patch on my head, and maybe it'll make me more lucid, if that makes sense to you. I do want to say, because I want to get into this talk of what just happened for Major League Baseball to include the Negro League stats officially integrated now into Major League Baseball. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force, because, as I say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But in just talking to Mr. Aaron Gonzalez, he's a representative for Super PAC, and I do appreciate the things that we can talk about, no matter what it is, from sports to entertainment to politics. It's all important, and I love bringing that to light on the Big C Sports Podcast, and that's one of the things I appreciate about Mr. Aaron Gonzalez. And I do want to say, because I'm an advocate for sports, and the statistics from Negro Leagues officially integrated into the Major League Baseball record books in a milestone decision, decades in the making. Major League Baseball announced on Tuesday that is now incorporating statistics of the Negro Leagues that operated in the 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s. And ironically, when you think about Major League Baseball, it really is the reason for the demise of the Negro Leagues. When you think about, I'll say that again. Major League Baseball is a reason for the demise of the Negro Leagues, because they helped get rid of it. They helped get rid of the Negro Leagues by doing, you can call it collusion, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I had to hit my cough button there for a second, but you can call it collusion, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But Major League Baseball, I believe they were behind the demise of the Negro League. They wanted to take the best players away. Everything in business needs money. I believe Major League Baseball had a lot to do with the good old boys not giving the loans to the Negro Leagues. And they offered more money to leave the league that was losing revenue because they couldn't get loans from the banks the way Major League Baseball could. And that's my study and my research, and I'll stand behind that. So this initiative, like, why are they doing it now, Big C? Baseball has about 7% African-American participation. It's no longer America's favorite pastime. That's now football. And even basketball. But for Major League Baseball to get more talk around the sport, they have the greatest league. They have the greatest when it comes to the benefits. They have a great package for Major League Baseball. They have the highest contracts. Make no bones about it. The great Shohei Ohtani signed nearly $1 billion. Think about that. There's no football player that's signing nearly $1 billion in a contract. Major League Baseball does. And there's nothing wrong with it. You get what you can. But in my opinion, the initiative is focused on ensuring that future generations of fans have access to the stats and milestones of all those who made the Negro Leagues possible. And then Major League Baseball Commissioner, the great Rob Manfred, he said in a statement provided to the Associated Press. Now, again, a lot of this is my opinion. Their accomplishments on the field will be a gateway to the broader learning about this triumph in American history and the path that led the great Jackie Robinson, runners on first and third. The counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on in deep. Right field, back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friends. They love to stand. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. But the accomplishments of the great Jackie Robinson on the field to be a gateway to broader learning about the triumph of American history and the path that led the great Jackie Robinson. 1947 did the Dodgers debut, and Manfred said that in his statement. Now, in 2020, in the wake of America's reckoning with racial injustice following the murder of George Floyd, Major League Baseball announced that it was elevating 7 Negro Leagues that operated from 1920 to 1948 that I believe Major League Baseball helped destroy. And they moved, at that time meant that approximately 3,400 players in those Negro Leagues could be recognized by Major League Baseball for their on-field achievements. So Wednesday's announcement will take that a step further. The immediate impact of the incorporation will see the great Josh Gibson, one of baseball's greatest players, take multiple records from the likes of Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth, and many sports people are talking about that. Now, Gibson will become the all-time leader in career batting average. He batted .372, runners on first and third. It counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, in deep, center field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. They love saying the girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. And when you think about passing Cobb's mark of batting .366, according to CBS Sports, his career .718 slugging percentage will also be the all-time high mark, surpassing the great Babe Ruth's record, his previous record of .690, and he'll be the leader in career OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage, with 1.177, passing the great Babe Ruth's mark of 1.164. So when you hear the name of the great Josh Gibson's name now, it's not just that he was the greatest player in Negro League history, as some people say, but one of the greatest of all time. In fact, my great-grandfather played Negro League baseball. And then the great Sean Gibson, Gibson's great-grandson, told USA Today in a statement Tuesday that these are not just Negro League stats, they are Major League Baseball stats. In fact, in 2020, Major League Baseball acknowledged that it was seeking to rectify a 1969 decision by the Special Committee on Baseball Records, a group that was formed to determine which leagues would be recognized as a major leagues. And the 1969 committee recognized 6 such leagues, the major leagues, dating back to 1876, but it omitted all Negro leagues from consideration. What's wrong with white people? Why they always want to tear down the black leagues, the Negro leagues? I mean, like they strike. I'm seriously, why were they trying to tear it down? What was it about the presence of the black athlete that made white society want to always tear it down? The same thing with reparations. It's a fact. It takes good people. But we got to be real about this. There was a conspiracy to tear down the Negro Leagues. The late Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank, runners on first and third. They counts for the pitch. Curveball, swung on, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friends. They love saying the girls love the long ball and men love to hit deep. But the late Hank Aaron, he played in the Negro Leagues before entering Major League Baseball and eventually breaking the great Babe Ruth's career home run record, who's also a black man. A lot of people don't know that, but he was Babe Ruth's black genealogy. That's a fact. In 2023, a documentary called The League, he described the challenges Negro League players faced, and we got $1 a day for meal money, and we would buy 1 loaf of bread, and we would buy a big jar of peanut butter. And Aaron said that we were able to live off of those for 3 or 4 days. So they didn't have the best nutrition, but they did have that strong 9-series DNA that's helped black men and women achieve against all odds. No matter what you think about integration of baseball, and they're trying to do the right thing right now, just like I believe that Major League Baseball, along with the NFL and the NBA, they should stand behind the push for reparations, like California Governor Gavin Newsom is going to sign that bill once it passes the Assembly. It's already passed the Senate. And if they really believe in doing the right thing and rectifying Major League Baseball, and you want to add some of the great stats from Negro League Baseball players into the Major Leagues, in my opinion, the league that Major League Baseball tried to destroy, you want to also champion things that are real, like reparations. Why would you not want to do the right thing? And I hope that they do it. It can't just be Big C Sports Podcast. That's my story, and I'm going to stick with it. I always want to believe that the good people of this country will always do the right thing. It's not always easy to do the right thing, but doing the right thing is always good. And I also believe, as cynical as it may seem, that Major League Baseball wants to get more black Americans involved in watching the sport. As I told you, black participation, African-American participation in Major League Baseball is about 7%. That's way down from what it was about 2 decades ago, when you have the guys like the great Hammer and Hank Aaron, also Ricky Henderson, and you can also say in my neck of the woods, the great Barry Bonds. No matter what you say, baseball's trying to expand its reach, And it's trying to find that reach in the African American community. And now you have people talking about it, so there's more people who want to bring it up, and that's okay with me as long as you try to do the right thing. I want to see if something can play for you a little bit different. I'm going to just try something. Me Latin strike if it doesn't work. I'm going to give you a chance to hear something, and I'm going to try it live. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, then it's not my fault. You can blame it on the Negro Leagues like they did when they disbanded the Negro Leagues. My story. Listen up and tell me what you think.
Reparations for black Californians for slavery and decades of discriminatory policies.
Yeah, 3 key bills had major votes in the state Senate today.
ABC 7 News anchor and race and social justice reporter Julian Glover has been following this really every step of the way, and he's here with the votes, Julian, that just came in.
Exactly. Those votes just came down within the last hour. We are, of course, watching those closely here. All 3 of these key reparations bill passed the California Senate with comfortable margins. We want to start with SB 1403. This was the really big one here. It would create a new state agency, the California Freedmen Affairs Agency. Now, that agency would oversee and administer any reparations measures that are passed. To be eligible, you'd have to be able to trace lineage back to an enslaved person or black person in the U.S. before the end of the 19th century. The bill passed 30-7. The second bill, SB 1331, would create a fund for reparations and reparative justice in the state treasury. This would be where the money would come from to pay for reparations. The Senate voted in favor of establishing the fund, but no specific funding mechanism has been determined as the state continues to navigate the significant budget deficit we've been telling you about. In other words, the account has been open, but there's no money in it currently. It passed 29-8. Now, the third bill passed in a 32-5 vote. It would provide compensation to families who've had their property taken from them in racially motivated applications of eminent domain.
The power of eminent domain has been used repeatedly to abuse, to move black and brown people off of their land and destroy their homes. These actions have devastated the opportunity for families to build intergenerational wealth through the owning of land.
The 3 bills today join AB 3089 that passed the state assembly last week. The bill would issue an apology to black Californians for the state's role in instituting slave laws and discriminatory practices since its founding. Now, without a doubt, a true history-making day at the state capitol. Now, of course, we wait for these bills to go before the assembly, which will happen in the coming weeks. Then, if passed, those bills would go before the governor to sign or veto them. That could happen as early as September of this year.
So a long way to go here, but real progress today.
Significant progress that is surely being watched all across the country right now.
For sure.
Latin strike, of course, it's being watched all over the country because it's the right thing to do. And more people are going to stand behind it.
Teaching hate says I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore. If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf violent? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate, he's violent.
Latin strike! I love reparations. Just like baseball's trying to integrate the stats from Negro League Baseball, I believe the talk of reparations is trying to right a wrong. The same way Major League Baseball is trying to right a wrong, there should have never been division in sports, just like there's no division now in sports, for the most part. And I think baseball's trying to do the right thing because in the past, the right thing was not being done. And that's why I think they want to add the stats from the Negro League to Major League Baseball, because it gets people to pay more attention to Major League Baseball. And I think it's actually a good thing. But keep in mind, the Negro League became defunct because Major League Baseball colluded against it. And that's a fact. They offer more money than the Negro League could. And I believe they had a big part to play in making sure that the good old boy system did not fund the Negro League teams. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And now, why is reparations so important? Because just like in trying to integrate the stats that have always existed, in fact, when the Negro League baseball players would play games against the Major League Baseball players, the Negro League baseball players were more dominant It was that way in football. It was that way in basketball. And that way in baseball. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I love paying homage to the California Reparations Task Force because a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and I don't want to waste my mind. That's why I'm wearing this super patch on my neck. It's closer to my brain. I want to thank the chair, Attorney Camila Moore. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to thank the vice chair, Dr. Amos Brown. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. He's also been on the Big C Sports podcast. I want to thank California Senator Stephen Bradford. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. He's the author of the Senate bills 1331, 1403, and 1050 that passed the California State Senate. Now it's on to the Assembly where they need 41 votes out of 80. And I believe with the 60 Democrats, they're going to get that passed. And then it goes to Governor Gavin Newsom to sign. The money's there. Fiat currency is there. We have money for everything. And other groups have gotten reparations, and now it's time for descendants of child of slavery. The same way Major League Baseball is trying to make amends with what happened with the Negro Leagues. I want to give praise to Senator Stephen Bradford. He's amazing. I also want to give praise to Council Member Monica Montgomery Stepp. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Assembly Member Reginald Jones Sawyer. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Shell Grills. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to our attorney, Lisa Holder. She's brilliant. I love giving her praise. I want to give praise to Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, a professor at California, Berkeley. He's brilliant. I love giving him praise. I want to give praise to our attorney, Donald K. Tamaki, part of the California Reparations Task Force. As a Japanese-American family received reparations, he's brilliant. I love giving him praise. Give him praise, praise, praise. Give it all praise. I love giving praise where praise is due. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I want to just thank Major League Baseball for doing the right thing, and it's always the right time to do the right thing. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I want to thank the great Aaron Gonzalez, who came on the show today, and because he picked Dallas to win in 5 games, I can assure his tires will not be flat in the morning down in Texas, if that makes sense to you. The Super Patch Company, superpatchag.com, the superpatchag.com. That's his website, and he's a great man. The patch really works. It's made my knee a whole lot better. Also, what's made my knee a whole lot better is not running like a fool trying to chase down a man who's running a lot faster than I can run. If that makes sense to you. I should have been stretching more, and that's my story. I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you on every Big C Sports podcast, I want to give praise to my beautiful family legacy. On my mother's side, my great-grandparents, my grandparents called them Mama and Pop. Really do love them. My grandparents, Muddy and Hezekiah, really do appreciate them. Love giving them praise. And then I could always depend on my mama, the most beautiful mama in the history of the universe. Started a Head Start program, a food program, and coaching all boys, the Little League baseball team, to the championship of the universe. And she did it without the super patch. She has some super good players known as me and my brothers on the team, if that helps. Always saying rise and shine. The best person I ever met in my life. I love my mama with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. On my father's side, my grandparents, Albert Curry and Alberta Curry, they were pastors. They had 3 churches. They owned 2 gas stations in Oakland. I was 8 years old walking through the hallway about 10 o'clock at night. I felt someone touch me in my forehead. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some more cookies?" I said, "What are you doing up, Grandma? It's 10 o'clock at night. You normally go to bed at 8:30. She said, "What are you doing, young man? Going to get some more cookies?" I said, "Cookies are baby crap. What I'm doing, Grandma, I'm going to get my reparations." And some cookies won't hurt. A great woman, really do appreciate her. My beautiful father, former United States Air Force fighter pilot, chief mechanic, always making sure that planes can fly high so we can all stay safe at night. Love my dad with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. Always saying develop your mind to the highest extent. My beautiful brother Todd, with that bombastic voice, sound like thunder and lightning when Todd speak. A voracious reader, always saying go for it. Love Todd with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. My beautiful daughter Daisy, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. College graduate, 2 degrees with honors in 3.5 years from a major university. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul, Daisy. She set up the very first interviews with Big C Sports Podcast back at Salem Media. It became the first time in the history of the United States that NFL Monday Night Football started broadcasting live on the Wall Street Business Network. They would normally go to ESPN. Daisy always trusts God, Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against him will prosper. I love you with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. My beautiful, handsome son, Malcolm, the most handsome son in the history of the universe. College graduate, very smart, erudite, a good man. Always trust God, Isaiah 54:17, that no weapon formed against him will prosper. You could be anything you want to be. Malcolm helped me save trees. I was always getting newspapers, looking up stats for Big C Sports Podcast. And one day Malcolm said, Dad, he said, why don't you just Google it? And I've been using the Google ever since. Now Google on 29 podcast platforms and streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, and Roku TV, and Amazon and Fire TV. Malcolm could be anything. Always trust God. You're a great man, and you have greatness inside of you. Always do the right thing. Love it with all my heart, mind, body, and soul. And then Big C, with all that wealth and knowledge over the years, like my great-granddaddy coming out of that barn with his church buddies always saying, you got to believe, you got to believe, you got to believe. Saying, let's get ready to rumble. I love saying, welcome to the show. SB nominated Big C Sports Podcast. I have no scripts. I have no three-way teleprompters. I have no producer in my ear. I do my show with that gland in the brain called the pineal gland. The ancients call it the third eye. And they say that's how you talk to God. If you talk loud enough like I do, maybe God will hear you, if that makes sense to you. And I do the best I can with every show. And with every show, I do the best I can. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always tell you, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, then don't drink. Because mothers against drunk drivers are mad, and fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber. You can call Lyft. You can walk it off. You can sleep it off. But don't let someone you love start drinking and get behind the wheel of a car, start driving. The life you saved may be your own. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you, back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He's known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, and you sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Ali said, I'm so pretty, I can't possibly be beat. And every time I listen to Big C Sports, I want to champion reparations now, reparations forever. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. My mother always says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that crap. If somebody's going up beside your head, I only stepped it because you made me mad. Call 911. If somebody's kicking you, I only kicked you because you made me mad. Call 911. If somebody's choking you out, I only choked you because you made me mad. Call 911. No man, woman, or child should ever have to put up with that crap. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always tell you, you know I believe in sports, and I believe in reparations. And hopefully, someday soon, they'll do what President Abraham Lincoln did back in the day. When he signed reparations now, reparations forever. Come on, if Negro League Baseball can make things that were wrong or right, you can do it too. You gotta sign reparations now, sign reparations forever. Come on, say it like your heart, mind, body, and soul believes in it. You gotta sign reparations now, sign reparations forever. I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day.